Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaranari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaranari Yashoda Nandana Rajanarayana Yashoda Nandana Rajanarayana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravinda Advaita Gadadhara Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. What happened? This is better, I think it's audible. I was hearing till their road. It's far better. So, today, anyone knows what we decided to discuss today? Anyone remembers? Amongst the new devotees, how many know about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Among the ones who have come for the first time? Yes. Anybody knows about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Anybody? Amongst the new devotees? Those who have come for the first time, last 6 months? Something? Absolutely no. Krishna in the mood of Radharani. Okay, good? Yeah? Can someone repeat? He teaches how to be devotee of Krishna. Very good point. Yes? Where are you from? Mumbai. We took avatar to spread the Harinam. Harinam Sankirtan. Very good. That's all right. All of you, everyone sitting here knows these things? All of you knows? Okay, good. All what you said is very right. Very true. And our Acharyas, they explain that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his life and biography is written in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, it is said that Chaitanya Charitamrita is the postgraduate study in spiritual life, in Krishna consciousness. It's a postgraduate study. It's a very, very deep subject, and it deals with a very emotional, personal life of the Supreme Lord. It deals with very deep emotions of the Lord. Just like we study in our school, what we are educated from our childhood has a very strong impression on our life. Isn't it true? Correct or not? It's a very strong impression on our life. And anything other than that needs, it's called samskaras. Strong impression in life, the kind of upbringing, the kind of samskaras, the kind of exposure, the kind of knowledge we come across, the kind of emotions we come across. That builds up a personality of an individual, isn't it? That builds up a personality of an individual. And once one is grown 15, 16 years old, then it is very difficult to inculcate that, change that samskara. You understand? Because now it's like grown up. The mind, the intelligence is now, it's no more innocent. Understand the point? It is no more innocent. You're always watching what is there, who is doing what, why is he doing with me, like this, isn't it? Small child is very innocent. You train him up, he becomes however you, the way you train him. I remember when I was in Pune temple, there used to be a small calf, and all of us used to play with that calf. Play with it, feed it something, and it would run with the 4 legs in the air. You've seen calf? Sometimes swing like that running. Have you seen? Calves, they run like the tail up, and then after 6 months, it was no more innocent like that. Because it was not a cow, it was a bull. Its nose become big, and when you would touch her, it would just, come to beat, like that, It's become sturdy, strong, it knows about its body now. It knows he is something now. Nobody can just bully with him. So once you have grown up, your ego is there, It takes time to accept anything. Anything beyond, after you are grown up, you need logic, correct? Reasoning. Like when we do our youth preaching, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his teachings, you get answers to everything in Srila Prabhupada's books. Correct or not? You get answers to everything. In my life, I have experienced whenever you give a session to the youths, especially invite the youths, give them a lecture, the youths are just waiting. Very, very, very strongly observing you. Carefully. You know why? Anybody knows why? हाँ इसको किधर रखता हूँ? कुछ तो बोले, and many of our preachers, purposely they speak something so that questions come up. Youths, they cannot, because the world is in a direction, and this philosophy speaks directly opposite to it, and that also very strongly. It's like directly, punching, that electric shock. Sometimes someone is dead, and the last hope is to give him a shock. Isn't it true? It's that experience. क्या बोल रहे हैं? हमने अपनी जिंदगी घिस दी है, 20 साल हो गया हमने अपनी जिंदगी घिस गया, 20 साल का हो गया, और ये आदमी तो एकदम टोटल ऑपोजिट बोल रहा है. Who said opposite? Total opposite, They say work is worship. We say this is cheating. Nothing. They say work is worship. We say आपके शरीर में एक बाल भी ज्यादा नहीं आएगा जितना आपने लिख के लाया उससे. Forget about money. You won't even get one hair more in your body than what is in your destiny. What is in your? That is like, it's like pinching your thigh tight, Have you experienced in your childhood pinching? हाँ? चिमटी किसको मिला बचपन में चिमटी? हाँ? मिला? You tell like this, everything is based on destiny. You won't get anything beyond that. For a youth, it is like pinching the thigh, okay. But Srila Prabhupada, when he was preaching, many people told Srila Prabhupada that, Srila Prabhupada, if you mention this movement as God consciousness, then you attract a lot of people. Srila Prabhupada said, no. This movement is meant to prove the world, teach the world that Krishna is God. There won't be any compromise in that. This movement is meant to prove the world that Krishna is God. And then he gave an example. And then says Prabhupada, many people will, they are very sentimental attached to many other worships they do. But then people will not come. So Srila Prabhupada gave an example. He said, If you see, have you seen an imitation jewelry shop in a market? Shaniwar market or Shukrwar market, small towns. Have you seen imitation jewelry shop? What is there in that? Duplicate jewelry. And how, is it crowded or it is fully crowded? No. Women are practically ready to jump on each other too. Isn't it true? And then have you seen a shop 24 carats gold? Is it crowded? Huh? So Srila Prabhupada said, we'll give 24 karat gold only. Pure philosophy. And those who are meant for that, that class of people will come. When the class will take up Krishna consciousness, the mass actually only follows. Isn't it true? The mass only follows. That was Srila Prabhupada's philosophy. So those who have that intelligence, that mercy, they actually come up and take up Krishna consciousness seriously. Coming to Mayapur Dham of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not just, it just happens. It is by a very, very special mercy of a devotee of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that one comes to this Dham, this Mayapur Dham. This is very, very special, supremely magnanimous, supremely merciful. You know, it is very deeply connected to the Lord and His devotees. The emotions of the Lord towards His devotees and devotees' emotions towards the Lord. You have to know a little bit tattva and philosophy in that. Like for example, many of these people talk also that in this movie, that Kashmir Files, they say, कैसे आपका भगवान उसकी बीबी को लेके चले गए और रो रहा है वो? हाँ? Kerala story, अच्छा. Kashmir Files and Kerala stories. Okay. Isn't it? The statements are there, and still today nobody knows how to answer. And nobody even understands them. These are Lord's pastimes. In the same pastime when Lord Ramchandra is crying, there is a very beautiful Leela which takes place. When Lord Ramchandra is crying for Mother Sita, so Devi Parvati and Lord Shiva passes by. So Parvati looks at Lord Ramchandra and feels very pity that Lord Ram is crying for Sita so badly. And Lord Shiva, he smiles and just passes by from that, doesn't come and disturbs the Lord's pastime. But Parvati feels very pity and she takes the form of Sita and goes to Lord Rama. And Lord Ramchandra looks at Sita, Parvati, and tells her, Devi, what are you doing here? Where is Lord Shiva? Immediately she feels very ashamed and she runs away from there. In the same pastime, Lord Ramchandra, feeling separation from Sita, Devi, he asks the birds that, my Lord, have you seen? He looks at the birds and says, have you seen my Sita? He looks at the trees. Has anyone seen my Sita? Will I be able to see Sita again in this lifetime? And he falls at the arms of Lakshmana and faints. Again wakes up and cries. How do you explain this? The Lord is Purnam, right? Complete. Isn't it true? The Lord is, right? All of you understand? If someone has to be God, he has to be complete, all in all. So why is he crying like this? Okay, Janma Karmache mein Divyam, yes. You also Janma Karmache. Okay, take. Two Janma Karmache is Divyam. Yes, he wants to teach that if you get married and you're only attached to a beautiful wife, you'll have to cry. Good. Yes. Don't tell this at your home, huh? Your father will teach you then. Real attachment. It's a part of Prabhu's Leela. But 21st century students will not understand this. Sorry? Trying? Crying for his devotees, yes. Good. But you know that incompleteness of the Lord, which appears in this beautiful pastimes. One of my seniors gave a very beautiful example, which can hit the scientific mind once and forever, finished. Incomplete is a part of complete in order to make the complete complete. Understood? Or you want me to repeat? Incomplete is a part of complete in order to make the complete complete. Understood or not? So the Lord's, this is just for the science, scientific minded people. We all are very cultured, all of you have spoken very important reasons actually. What I am trying to tell is little bit breaking those who have little bit more still scientific mind, no? Break that. Incomplete is a part of complete in order to make the complete complete. So this little bit pastimes of the Lord, where the Lord has, pastimes where it appears to be that God, Bhagwan ऐसा नहीं कर सकते हैं, ऐसा नहीं हो सकते हैं. That incompleteness is also part of the Supreme Lord only, to make him complete. Because he is Purna, everything should be within. But there is one more thing Srila Prabhupada explains in his books, that sometimes an actor, when he is acting a very important role, the script is so powerful that the actor gets into the role and starts crying. Have you seen that? Starts crying. So the pastimes of the Lord, his devotion, his exchanges with devotees, sometimes are so deep. The Lord is also influenced by the devotion of his devotees. The Lord is also very influenced. The Lord is very pleased by his devotees. The Lord is very pleased by his, but he is very attracted by the devotion of his devotees. He is very attracted by the devotion of his devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very special in that. As I said, it's a postgraduate study. Let me tell you 1, 2, 3 pastimes by which you will understand what was that Lord's incompleteness, or what was that Lord's desires which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfills. He comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and fulfills them. So you all took the darshan of Lord Prahlad, and did you see Prahlad Maharaj? So we all know the pastime of Lord Narasimhadev and Prahlad, how Hiranyakashipu had harassed Prahlad. He tried to kill Prahlad. Bhakta Prahlad was put in a well of snakes. You know that? He was thrown from a mountain. He was thrown below a mad elephant. There were attempts to burn him alive. Burn him alive. There was so much of torture. But Bhakta Prahlad, he was very innocent. Very innocent and complete faith on Supreme Lord. Nothing could affect him because the Lord was protecting him. The Lord was protecting him. In fact, Hiranyakashipu got so frustrated. He said that, where is the strength which is coming into you? So Prahlad very humbly said, my dear father, the strength of mine and yours is the same, Lord Vishnu. Vishnu, 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 where is he? Hiranyakashipu gets frustrated. He says, my father, he is everywhere. He is within you, he is within me. He gets more fire, within me and everywhere. How is that possible? So he gets very angry. Everywhere, everywhere he sees a pillar. He is here also. Some of our acharyas said that Lord Nrsimhadev was not there. And Prahlad said, yes, and Lord Nrsimhadev appeared there immediately. He said, he's here also. Yes, and Lord appeared. And Prahlad saw the Lord there and he was smiling. Someone is angry. Suppose your father is very angry. If you smile, you know what happens, no? Anger gets into action, no? So, Prahlad was smiling, looking at the pillar. Hiranyakashipu could not control his anger. He took his sword and broke the pillar, and Lord Nrsimhadev came out. And yesterday I explained this form of Lord Nrsimha is the Stanu Nrsimha, who is searching for Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. So, when Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Nrsimhadev was very angry. Why? Even after killing Hiranyakashipu, he was not satisfied. Because his devotee was troubled. His devotee was given pain. And he was roaring so ferociously that the upper planetary system, Swargaloka and others, planet up and down, lower planetary system, Narka, all the planetary systems were shaking. And all the demigods were in fear that now annihilation, pralaya is going to happen. We have to control the anger of the Lord. So the demigods, they come together and they see the Lord and run away, seeing his anger. Then they tell Brahma. Brahma also says, no. Then they all go to Lakshmi. Lakshmi Narasimha, they say. So they request Devi Lakshmi that please go. Please pacify your Lord. If he doesn't get pacified now, there will be a complete destruction of the creation. So Lakshmi Devi takes a garland and tries to make some steps ahead, and Lord Nrsimha, and she runs away from him. Then everyone goes to Prahlad and begs him, then why don't you go and please pacify the Lord? The Lord has come to protect you. The Lord has appeared because you were in trouble, just to protect you. So Prahlad Maharaj went and paid obeisances. When he paid obeisances, his head touched the feet of Lord Nrsimhadev. And immediately he came down. If you go to Ahobilam, there is Ugra Nrsimha and there is Shanta Nrsimha deity. Shanta Nrsimha deity is a deity after Prahlad touches Lord Nrsimhadev. Totally silent. Ekdam, like this. Total. Hands down, knees down, and hands down, completely Shanta Nrsimha. There's a deity of Shanta Nrsimha. Then he takes Prahlad on his lap and licks him like a lion licks its cub. And he was very pleased with Prahlad. Now here, our acharyas, they give a very beautiful explanation. They say that when Lord Nrsimhadev was experiencing these exchanges of pleasing Prahlad, having him in his lap, he was feeling very, very happy about Prahlad. And while looking at Prahlad, the Lord saw deep in his heart, Prahlad is also happy. But the happiness of Prahlad is much more than the happiness of himself. The Lord experienced that my devotee Prahlad is experiencing more happiness, much more than I can imagine, as accepting his devotion than being my devotee. You understood my point or not? Are you understanding? The Lord saw that his devotee Prahlad is more happy being a devotee. So the Lord was curious, what is that happiness which my devotee is experiencing? What is the curiosity of the Lord? Samajh rahe hain? Understanding or not? That's why I said it's a postgraduate study. You have to come out of Facebook, YouTube and Instagram shorts to understand this. So this was there. Then when the Lord appears at Lord Ramachandra, there also we know how the Lord was banished for 14 years to be in the forest. So he comes and tells his wife, Devi Sita. He tells that, first of all, the Lord himself exemplifies When Mother Kaikeyi tells that you have to go for 14 years and Bharat should become the king, or Bharat should become the king, you should go for 14 years to the forest. The Lord Rama smiles at Mother Kaikeyi and says that, my dear mother, this is only this too. For this too you are waiting so long. Bharat is such a nice person. If I am given a choice, I will also make Bharat the king. And 14 years, I think there is some good fortune in my life. When I went to kill Tadaka with Vishwamitra, I saw so many rishis and sages in the forest. And I thought that, will I ever get a fortune to associate with this hermitage? People living in the hermitages in the forests. So the Lord is very kind and is fulfilling my desire. So I'll go for 14 years. And he tells that, had you told me this before, I would have walked out of Ayodhya without informing anyone. And my father would not be in so much painful situation. So then he goes to Sita and tells Sita that I am leaving. And he tells as if, evening is coming back. Like that he tells, Say my father gave a boon to my mother Kaikeyi, and she asked for 2 boons. Bharat will become the king now. You all will be very protected under Bharat. And I'll go in 14 years and come back. Mother Sita has tears in her eyes. She says, I will also go. She said, no, I have the order of my father. She said, I also have my father of my order. That from today onwards, after my marriage, I have become your Ardhangini. Half your pains are mine and half your pleasures are mine. And for me, Ayodhya is where you are. Jungle or hell or forest or this kingdom. Does not matter. For me, Ayodhya is where you are. By the time Lakshman comes to know, he is observing the whole thing. He said, enough. All these things. Nobody is going anywhere and you will become the king today. And then he doesn't say our father or the king Dashrath. He said that Dashrath, totally influenced by one of his wife, wants to do this injustice. Nothing. Let the whole army of Ayodhya come. With my sword, I'll cut off them. And let Bharat and Shatrughan come. Their heads will fall and same will be the destiny of Dashrath. Lord Ramchandra smiles at him and then chastises him also. He said, no, if you want the kingdom, you take the kingdom. I don't need this kingdom like this. I want to just keep the word of my father. That is my pride. So Lakshman falls at the feet of the Lord and tells that, please take me also. I will end up doing that, what I just told if you don't take me. And Lakshman takes it. Lord Ramchandra smiles. Mother Sita gives permission. But Lord Ramchandra tells him, you go and take permission of your mother. Then he runs to Sumitra. Sumitra is the mother of Lakshman, right? Sumitra. So he runs to Sumitra. And he tells that, he cries out and explains her the whole thing. So Devi Sumitra also narrates a very beautiful lesson. She tells that, today, I feel my body has become auspicious because you are born from my body. Please go. Your birth is to serve Rama. And you know what? Ram is your real mother and father. And go and serve him. Don't worry about Ayodhya. Just go and serve him. So Lakshman runs. And we all know when he goes to the forest, Mother Sita is kidnapped. Jatayu was killed. When Jatayu was killed, but before that, he was injured. And he fell down. But it was so painful that he was supposed to die. But he holds his breath. He holds his breath because he is a great devotee of Lord Rama and he wanted to inform Lord Rama that Sita is kidnapped by Ravana. So when he comes and tells it to Lord Rama, Lord Ramachandra tells Jatayu, I'll make you perfectly fine and give you a youth body. You live here and enjoy. He says, my Lord, enough of trapping into your energies, illusion energy, Maya Shakti. I'm done, please let me go. And we all know, as soon as Lord Ramchandra leaves, Bharat comes. And Bharat was told that you should become the king. And he tells in the assembly that few days before, you all decided, of course, first he meets Kaikeyi. You all know, right? He meets Kaikeyi. And then Kaikeyi narrates that, the whole story. But he tries to understand what happened, and he was into tears getting the information that Dashrath left his body and Rama is not here, he is in the forest. He said, how this has happened? He says, I'm so unfortunate. At least if I was there, my father would take my hand and put me into the custody of my lovable Ram, so that I can remain his servant lifelong. What happened? Why did he leave? Then she narrates that, you see, they were making Ram the king, and I took the opportunity of my boon. Then Lakshman tells, he doesn't tell my mother, he said, you foolish woman, you shameless lady, how did you even think that Bharat can, even in his dream, think that he will become the king of Ayodhya? There is no need to make a king of Ayodhya. Ram is already in the heart of everyone, ruling everyone's heart. He is already the king of Ayodhya. You know, what an unfortunate birth I have, that I will be known for this in my whole life, that Rama was given trouble because of you. And he leaves and he goes to the assembly and he tells everyone that, so they said you should become the king. A kingdom cannot be without a king. So he said, okay, fine, that's fine. But few days before, you all together decided that Ram will become the king. What happened? Why he was not made the king? Answer. So just because of one queen, one of the queens of the king plotted like this politically, and the whole kingdom accepted that plot, and then he rejects the kingdom. Actually, the assembly, the ministers in the assembly, and Guru Vashishta, he has tears in his eyes. He says, Bharat, you will be known in the history for your love towards Rama. You have kicked out such a big kingdom as if it is just like a dust against your love towards Ram. And then he goes, we know, he goes to the forest, bring Lord Rama back. You know. And in this way, Hanuman comes up. And Hanuman does so much service to Lord Ramchandra in finding Sita, going to Sita. Being a brahmachari, he goes to Lanka, where Ravana had thousands of queens who were not properly dressed also, whom he had kidnapped for different places. And Lakshmana goes to that place, passes through that area, searching Mother Sita. And then he comes back with a message, with the bracelet of Mother Sita. Lord Ramchandra is in tears when he comes to know about Sita. And we know how the fight happens. When Ravana was killed, when Lord Ramchandra came back to Ayodhya, he was, Mother Sita and he were actually thanking everyone, glorifying everyone. All his devotees. You know, Bibhishan, Jambavan, Hanuman, Lakshman. But when it came to Sugriv, but when it came to Hanuman, Lord Ramachandra told Hanuman in the assembly, because Mother Sita was giving out jewelries, Lord Ramchandra was giving gifts. But when it came to Hanuman, Lord Ramchandra told that I don't possess anything in my possession which can compensate your devotion, Hanuman. I don't possess anything in my possession which can be a gift against your devotion, Hanuman. And Lord Ramchandra embraces Hanuman and cries. In the same pastime, Lord Ramchandra also experiences the same thing. It is said what Lord Narasimhadev experienced. He was very happy with all his devotees, starting from Mother Sita till Hanuman, everyone. Very, very happy. But he noticed something. What? He saw all his devotees are more happy. So much difficulties they face. So much uncomfortable situation. So much of cheating. You know, so much of cheating. You know, there is one saying, the Pandavas, you know, they are so happy. Their kingdom was taken away. Their wife was insulted. and they were sent to the forest. But they were so happy because they never complained Krishna. Why this is happening to us? You know. Similarly, Lord Ramchandra was saying that my devotees are so happy, taking so much pain. They are more happy being my devotees than I being their Lord and accepting their devotion. So similarly, Lord Krishna, ultimately the Supreme Lord himself, when he appeared, he saw the same thing. He saw the same thing in Vrindavan. It says, Brajalila is Madhurya Mailila. Vrindavan, you understand Vrindavan? How many of you been to Vrindavan? Oh really? Many of them, huh? Many of them came for Kartik Yatra. Oh, how many of you came for Rishikesh and for... Okay. So Vrindavan, you know what is Vrindavan then? Vrindavan is the most sacred place and the most special pastimes of the Lord happens there. The pastimes of the Lord outside Vrindavan are many, but much more pastime. It's like a wholesale. Brajalila is like a wholesale Bhakta Leela. Very sweet, very special, and Krishna overflows in Vrindavan Leelas. Krishna overflows in Vrindavan Leelas. Like I like this pastime I heard from Mahaprabhu Swami long back, some 14 years ago. He says that one day Krishna stole the butter and came to his house early in the morning before anyone could wake up. So all the devout gopis, elderly gopis, he would not go to one house. He would go taste little bit butter, upper layer, then it's inside is not good, throw away, and then go to another house. So all these gopis, they came back to Nanda Bhavan, house of Nanda Baba, and there was a commotion, and Krishna, after stealing the butter, before people could wake up, he was already sleeping. So Mother Yashoda came out and saw, what is this? What is this sound, so much commotion? She comes out and all the elderly gopis are shouting and giving complaints about Krishna stealing their butters. And sometimes he steals the butter and he throws the butter on the floor also. Sometimes he eats the butter and then after eating, he will pinch our sleeping children and run away from there. Sometimes he will eat the butter and then he will throw away and say, this is such a low, after finishing it, he will say, it is such a low quality butter, my stomach will go bad. After finishing it, he will say. And sometimes he will eat so much and give it to the monkeys, and after the monkeys are not able to eat, he will say, it is such a useless butter, even the monkeys don't want to eat now. You know, like that they were all complaining. So Mother Yashoda, she brought Krishna outside. She said, Krishna, wake up, you come out. And then she made him hear all the complaints. And Mother Yashoda said, all the gopis said, you should punish Krishna this time. You should punish Krishna. So Mother Yashoda said, yes, you will be punished today. So Krishna said, Maya, how? See, I'm still figuring out what is this all about after hearing everything. I'm not able to still figure out what is this all about. But in any case, I want you to act in a very respectful way. He said, in the assembly where justice is given, it is an etiquette that both the sides are heard. And you heard one side and you concluded that you will punish me. That is wrong. Then Mother Yashoda, in her heart, she was smiling, but externally she was angry. Even the gopis all were staring. In their hearts were melting. But externally they were red eyes, angrily watching Krishna making this statement, you know. And they wanted to see what Krishna will say now. So then Krishna said, I was also wondering why all of them have ganged up against me today. Ganged up means they all come together, right? So then Krishna said, then after a deep thought, I understood. So then all the gopis' eyes went big angrily. Understood? What is he understood? And they were looking at Krishna. So then Krishna said, my mother, you are the most fortunate lady in the three worlds, because you have the fortune to give me bath, decorate me, do my shingar, put beautiful chandan to me, put beautiful tilak to me, put beautiful peacock feather to me, put beautiful, put my beautiful ankle jewelry, beautiful vest jewelry, and then after all these things, you send me out. Putting a kajal to me. When the Lord is dressed up and he comes out, what happens, That is called Darshanarti. You attended to the Darshanarti? Yes. Govindam Adipurusham Amaham Bhajami. So that is what happens when the Lord is ready. But only Yashoda Maya looks at the Lord. So the Lord says, these gopis, today, they want to have the fortune what you have. So they have come to your house with these lies. These lies an opportunity for them to come to your house. Actually, they just want to see your beautiful son. And all the complaints are only total lies. And all the gopis, they carry that conversation in their heart and then go happily, without any complaint, looking at the Lord. They love the Lord so much. Like that, there are so many innumerable pastimes of Krishna that unconditionally devotees of Vrindavan, they loved him. And amongst them, the topmost is Srimati Radharani. It is said that when Krishna left Vrindavan, he told, I will come back. I will come back. But the problem in Vrindavan is that they cannot live without Krishna. And they cannot displease Krishna. So that's why they were not even dying. They thought, if we die and leave our body and go, and if Krishna comes, he will be displeased, very unsatisfied, very unhappy. How can we displease him? So let us live. So it is said, devotees of Vrindavan were living like dead bodies, but not leaving their body, because Krishna said he will come back. And amongst them, the topmost of Srimati Radharani. It is said if Srimati Radharani leaves, everyone in Vrindavan will leave their body. So sometimes Radharani used to be faint. And they used to put some cotton in front of her nose. And suddenly, after a few minutes, the cotton would shake. And they would feel Radharani is still alive. Sometimes it used to happen. So Krishna used to feel so much of separation. And with all the essence of his devotees, Krishna decided that though I should experience this, what my devotees are, what is the devotees experiencing? Bhakti, pure bhakti, unconditional devotion. And then Krishna thought one more thing. See, this is Krishna's thought, okay? The Supreme Lord. He thinks that it's been for a long time now. I spoke the Bhagavad Gita before the beginning of Kali Yuga. And I gave how to perform bhakti to me is spoken in the Gita. In the conclusion of Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshyashyami ma sucha. Krishna tells in the Gita that give up all kind of worships, all kind of practices, and take my shelter. I will ma sucha aham tvam sarva pape. Papa means I will get you rid of all sins. And then Krishna spoke the Gita and went back to his abode. But Krishna saw that people are not able to practice what I told. They are able to read and understand, but they are not able to practice how to follow the Gita. What was Krishna thinking? How to follow the Gita. And they should be taught. They should be taught how to perform bhakti to me. So I will go as my own devotee. And then he told Radharani, he said, hey Radhike, I have a great desire to be my devotee in your mood, in the mood of Brajvasis, in the mood of devotees of Vrindavan. I want to go in your mood and become my devotee. Radharani's eyes went big. She said, Krishna, do you know what it means to become your devotee? Don't go like this. He said, if you really want to go, okay, you will be like a mad man, jumping up and down, so, and dance and fell down on the floor and break your bones. So Radharani says, but I will allow you to go in one condition. He said, I will give you my special Gaura Varna. Radharani is called Tapta Kankshana. All of you know this mantra, Tapta Kankshana. So that Gaurangi, when that Gaura Varna is given to Krishna, he becomes Gauranga. He becomes Gauranga. And he appears in this world in this dham. Today evening they are visiting today evening. The exact place, Chaitanya, where they? Krishna in the form of his devotee is called Chaitanya Avatar. And today Chaitanya Avatar Das will take you to the place where Lord Chaitanya appeared. The beautiful place, Yogapeeth, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Now he appeared with two things. He said, I will give my devotion to people unconditionally and I will experience devotion also. So there's a beautiful bhajan which comes up. You can sing with me. Ishan is there to play mridanga? You can hear and sing how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes. It is mentioned in one of the bhajans. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita also there are very beautiful verses narrating this tattva, this philosophy. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kari 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 Swapashada Swayadhama Sahavatari Dasa Saha Avatari Atyanta Durlabha Prema Kari Bare Dana Durlabha Prema Kari Bare Dana Shri Kaiva Sharanagati Bhakya Tera Prana Bhakya Tera Prana Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this verse says, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori Sa Parshada Soyadham Saha Avatari. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna, Jive Daya Kori, feeling compassionate for the people in the material world. Sa Parshada, with his associates. With his associates. So he didn't come alone. Right behind me, the Lord is with his associates, right? Panchatattva, raising his hands up. Next to him, on his, if you stand right like this, on his right hand side is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself in the mood of Srimati Radharani. And Lord Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram. And next to him is Advaita Acharya, who appears way before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Nadia, who is, he is Mahavishnu and Sadashiva, combination of Vishnu and Sadashiva, Shiva. And then left side of him is Gadadhar Pandit. Who is that? Radharani, Bhakta Avatar. Who is, her mood is stolen by Krishna. Radharani. And then next to him is Srivas Pandit. Who is Srivas Pandit, you know? Narada Muni. Narada Muni. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Jive Daya Kori, Sa Parshada, Sa Dhama, with his associate and his dham. This Navadip Dham, this Mayapur Dham, it exists in the spiritual world. It is in the spiritual world, the Lord along with this Dham and his associate appears here to inaugurate this Bhakti mission, the Sankirtan mission. Atyanta Durlava Prema, Kari Baure Dhana. You understand this? Very simple. Atyanta Durlava means very rarely available. Prema means love. Kari Bare Dan. You understand Dan? Dan means charity. The most rare, which is pure bhakti, very, very rarely available. It takes millions of lifetimes to understand what is bhakti. That bhakti, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives in charity to one and all, indiscriminately. You know through what? How is this bhakti given? Through chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. simply by chanting, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is indiscriminately distributing the love of God, pure devotion. Something which he himself wants to experience, when he comes as his own devotee, he indiscriminately gives out to one and all. That is why it is said, those who appear in the Kali Yuga, all of you know, it's a very horrible age, but those who appear when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared, they are very fortunate, because that Kali Yuga is called Swarna Kali, Dhanya Kali. Swarna Kali means the golden avatar, Gauranga appears. Dhanya Kali means indiscriminately one gets prema, which eradicates, the chanting of the holy name, eradicate all the sins of our millions of lives and establishes pure bhakti in our heart. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then he himself teaches, Shikhaibo Sharnagati Bhakatera Prana. I will be my own devotee and teach people how to perform devotion to me, by which they will understand. Sharnagati means how to surrender to the Lord. Bhakatera Prana. This is the life of a devotee, to learn how to surrender to the Lord. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are a few beautiful verses which describes this Lord's own conversation, his own thoughts is described very beautifully in Chaitanya Charitamrita. You can, if you have, all of you have folio or some, do you attend chat Gita shlokas? They don't have phones here. Oh, okay. Some of you have your phones. Okay, I will narrate, you can hear and repeat with me. Hear it very nicely, it is very easy to repeat. It is from Adi Leela 3.13. Adi Leela chapter 3 verse number 13. How many of you have phone, you can open that. Yatiste vihare Krishna kore antardhana Yatiste vihare Krishna kore antardhana Antardhana kori mane kore anumana Antardhana kori mane kore anumana Chirakale nahi kori prema bhakti dana Chirakale nahi kori prema bhakti dana Bhakti vina jogo tera nahi avasthana Bhakti vina jogo tera nahi avasthana Shakale jagat more kori vidhi bhakti Shakala jagat more kori vidhi bhakti Vidhi bhakti vraja bhava Paite nahi shakati Vidhi bhakti vraja bhava Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the translation goes like this. Lord Krishna enjoys his transcendental pastimes for a long, as long he wishes, and then he disappears. Understood? Lord Krishna performs his pastime and then he disappears. However, he thinks thus: for a long time I have not bestowed unalloyed loving services upon the inhabitants of the world. Without such loving attachment, the existence of the material world is useless. What is it? Useless. Without bhakti, the material world is a useless place. Isn't it true? You all can experience. Just few days in the dham and go and live outside in the world. And you will just immediately, when you leave this holy place, you will experience. Everywhere in the world, people worship me according to the scripture injunction. But simply by following the regulative principles, one cannot attain loving sentiments of devotee of Braja Bhumi, of devotees of Vrindavan. Just by going to the temple, knowing philosophy, knowing all that. One has to be a part of the Sankirtan mission. One has to be chanting the holy name. Then he will experience Braja Bhakti. This is a very difficult science. What I am trying to tell you, you are able to hear and understand it. It's only because of one reason. Because you all have chanted Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Now I challenge you, go to the people who have not chanted and preach to them and explain them this. See if they understand or not. Go home and talk to your friends, your society, and tell them this and see if they will understand. They will understand? No. Please understand, this is the philosophy. This is the tattva. This is the power of the holy name. When you get the holy name from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or his representative, it has such an impact. You are able to understand the core of the Lord's personal emotions. And the Lord himself decided, I want to experience bhakti, but I will go and give this bhakti through Sankirtan mission. And that will be the Yuga Dharma, which will be Nam Sankirtan. So that is why the Lord is so kind and so merciful. You can understand just by knowing this. People in Kali Yuga, when you tell them, please perform bhakti, what do they say? Time nahi hai. Right? Right or not? Yes. And they have time for three things. Eating nice food, dancing, and hearing nice songs or singing them. Correct or not? गाने नाचने खाने में ही आदमी को interest, right? So the Lord is so merciful, he inaugurates a Sankirtan mission, which has only three things. First you are given holy name, right? Right? And then you are given prasadam. Correct? And then you are called to the temple to sing, no? Correct or not? All of you experience this or not? First you are given prasadam, then you are given the holy name, and then you are called to the temple to, right? Sing and dance. I'm sorry, I missed the dancing part, no? People in this world like to dance, sing, and eat. See, Swiggy, Zomato, so much it is in boom. The culture is not to eat, cook at home now, eat. Only eat wherever you get. Tasty food. So Srila Prabhupada, he took this Sankirtan mission to the whole world of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the same Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's one more beautiful verses, which is Adi Leela, 3rd chapter, verse number 19. Which is the Praman. It is mentioned in the scriptures, whatever I told. You can sing with me and repeat. Carefully here and you will be able to sing. It's very simple. Yuga dharma pravartamo nama sankirtana Yuga dharma pravartamo nama sankirtana Chari bhava bhakti diya nachamu bhuvana Chari bhava bhakti diya nachamu bhuvana apane karimu bhakta bhava angitare Apana chare bhakti Shigamu sabare Apani achare bhakti Shigamu sabare Apane na kailo dharma Shigana nayaya Haite Siddhanta Gita Bhagavat Gaya Haite Siddhanta Gita Bhagavat Gaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Translation. I shall personally inaugurate the religion of the age. Nam Sankirtan. The congregation chanting of the holy name. I shall make the world dance in ecstasy realizing the four mellows of loving devotion. I shall accept the role of a devotee, and I shall teach devotional service by practicing it myself. Unless one practices devotional service himself, he cannot teach others. This conclusion is indeed confirmed throughout the Gita and Bhagavatam. You see, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself is telling here, I shall go as my own devotee, inaugurate the Sankirtan mission. So this is the essence of the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he has come to give this holy name through which he is indiscriminately giving up devotion to us. And anyone who chants offenselessly will get the highest perfection of becoming a pure devotee, a loving devotee of Krishna, which is the goal of human form of life. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. In fact, today you all are very fortunate that you are hearing about this, about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu today's day, because today is the day even ISKCON, which is Srila Prabhupada's mission, which practically took Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan mission to every corner of the world by Srila Prabhupada, was incorporated in America on today's day. Yesterday I told you Srila Prabhupada saw Indians not following. He said, I will take this bhakti mission to the West, make them devotees. So he preached for 1 year. In 1966, right? 66 he registered ISKCON in New York City on today's day. And there is one more amazing thing. Srila Prabhupada narrates in his one of his conversations. He says that the Western world is a horrible place. When I came there, I thought, where have I landed? Nobody is interested in bhakti. And after a few months, I wanted to go back. Many times, I used to go to the dock and find out when the ship which brought me here is coming back, so that I can go back. I was so frustrated and so disgusted in this material world, in this society, in the Western world, that people are not interested. But finally, being so frustrated, I one day just took kartals and walked on the street and started chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. He said, when I did that, few of the young devotees got attracted, and they start following me. And in this way, the whole movement came up. So Prabhupada's life itself, the Shastras itself, and today's auspicious day itself proves that the Yuga Dharma is Harinam Sankirtan. So all of you are very fortunate in this human form, in this human birth, with different background, with different face, body, surname, language, caste, breed. You all have come together and got an fortune to be a part of the Sankirtan mission and get the mercy of this holy place. Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai. Patita Pavan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Nithai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for patiently hearing, and I hope that you continue to take good association and chant and pray deeply to the Lord and take everyday beautiful darshan of the Lord. These deities are so beautiful. They are, the human form is very, very rare. You know why? Huh? You heard this? From where? In this form only we can understand God, yes? In this form we can do devotion.
84 lakh species and only human species.
Every 4 lakh species and one species human. Very nice. No, 4 lakh species are there out of that. Yes. But there is one more very special thing. The human form is a replica of the Lord's form. Many times we think that we see Ramayana and Mahabharata and we think that Bhagwan हम लोग के जैसे ही दिख रहे हैं. ऐसा नहीं है. Human form is very, very rare and very special. Why? It is a replica of the form of the Lord. You see though? The Lord is there like us. We are like Him. Not like us. We are like Him. So we, conditioned soul, can see the Supreme Lord and pray to Him. In Mayapur Dham. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes. चैंटिंग में होने वाले अपराध से कैसे बचे? This is like this is the PhD. I don't know. What did I say? It is a postgraduate. This is a postgraduate question. The best way to protect yourself from all offenses is attentively chanting. Attentively chanting helps you to get rid of all the offenses of the holy name. ध्यान पूर्वक जप करने से आप सभी अपराधों से बच सकते हैं. Okay? The best thing is here. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare. Immediately, very swiftly chant, attentively, keep on hearing it. Don't allow your mind to go here and there. As soon as you come to the mind is gone here, and catch it and bring it back. Hare Krishna, no, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. That's the way to chant. Yes.
Lord left the Vrindavan and everyone was very unhappy because of the separation. Did he come back?
That's another deep subject. That is another deep subject, which you will learn later. It is the essence of this postgraduate study. You cannot get it so fast. But yes, he came, and also it says he never left Vrindavan. Yeah. You understand? He came back and he never left Vrindavan. So that needs little more deeper understanding, which I'll sometime later cover in a lecture.
We are in Mahaprabhu right now, but sometimes I take it as granted, like normally when we study how to be in that consciousness that I am in Mayapur and I should act in that way. I take it as very granted sometimes. Oh, I am in Mayapur, it's going to, I have more quotas to go. It's a very normal thing, so how to take that seriously?
Be with the devotees who are very serious about it. Understand? Do service, serve prasadam, pray to the Lord. Be with the devotees who are very serious, practicing, chanting always, reading, memorizing shlokas, singing bhajans, practicing bhajans, praying to the Lord. When you associate with them, you will also get influenced by that. And the best way is think about how you can serve. So you will have so much anxiety. मुझे भी करना, ये भी करना, ये सेवा करना. So you will always think that I have to pray because I need strength. So I'm in Mayapur. If I can pray here, I'll get the strength to go out and do service. Prabhupada used to say the Mayapur and Vrindavan Dham is fun for devotees to come once in a year and charge yourself. Charge yourself up to go out and fight Maya. Huh? Understand? Yes.
तो मेरा क्वेश्चन था कि while you visiting different places, तो उस टाइम पे मूड क्या होना चाहिए और what kind of walks we can take while visiting there?
When you are visiting those places, you should be you should not be thinking anything. You should be hearing about the place. First. Second thing is, I think we always have kirtan. Right? Everywhere where we go, we have kirtan, no? So you should be. And this kirtan is what? Harinam is what? You know the meaning of Harinam? The meaning of Harinam is Hare Krishna, Hey Radharani. Hare means Radharani, Hey Krishna, Hey Radhe, Hey Krishna, Hey Radhe. Hey Radharani, please keep me engaged in Krishna's service. I want to do service, I want to do service. Please engage me in service. Hare Krishna Mahamantra means that only. There's no other prayer better than this. Either you are praying through the holy name, either you are intensely praying to the Lord. So always chant, you are praying. And hear. Chant and hear. Hear the pastimes. That is the absolute mood. Here and outside also.
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि लाइक जब हम गॉड के सामने जाते हैं हमको क्या मांगना चाहिए बेसिकली
Best prayer is, which I try my best, is that, my Lord, this place is a horrible place. As soon as I go out of this place and association, I'm finished. I only want to beg you one thing. Keep me in association of your devotees, who will always give me some prasad, who will always tell me we should chant, who will always take me for Mangalarti, who will never allow me to do nonsense. So I am protected in all the ways, and thoda prasad aur harinam bhi mil jayega. So keep me in association. The best prayer is to beg to the Lord to keep you in association. Right? Nobody here will talk, hey chalo yaar dekhte Adi Purush dekhne jate hain. नहीं आदि पुरुष तो देखने भी जा सकते हैं कोई और पिक्चर. Nobody here will say let's go and watch Bollywood movie. बाजू में. Will you think like this here? No. Devotee association will never do that. Always be in association. Pray to be in association. That is what my experience is. You know. But then you can always, there are so many prayers where many acharyas, Prahlad Maharaj, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Dhruva Maharaj, so many prayers are there. You can take inspiration from those prayers also.
Like we are in Mayapur now, so we are attached to the now. Once we go back to how we transfer back to face.
Yeah, you have to follow the process. The Lord has given you the experience to charge you. And when you go back to your war fields, you know, you should be in association and always contemplate, always do some service to Krishna. Because the service attracts Krishna. And then contemplate how to do that nicely. And that contemplation is as good as living in Mayapur. Wherever you are, if you are thinking about how to serve Krishna, is as good as living in Mayapur. Okay, any other questions? Alright, so we'll stop here. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Shri Panchatattva ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.